Hello, babies. It's your lucky day because Mimzie's going to come back with a twofer. I got another book for you to read because I've been cleaning my room and I found this and I found this. Do you know what this is? This is a fossil. It's like a rock now. If you stick your tongue to it, it'll stick to your tongue, and that's how you know it's a fossil, because that's called capillary action. And I have this book, Fossils, Tell of Long Ago. Not tales of long ago, but they tell of long ago. So I'm going to read this book for you because I know you will love it. Who doesn't love a good science lesson on the last day of school? So here I am. Let me find the first page. Oh, did you know your Mimzie got to go work with for real paleontologists on a dinosaur dig for a whole week? Yes, it sounds way more exciting than it actually is, because it is very tedious to sit there with paintbrushes in the middle of the dirt looking for dinosaur bones. But I will say Mimzie was successful, and dinosaur bones were found, cataloged, and put into a museum. All right, so look, here we go. Look at this. This looks like a project I do with my 7th graders. Once upon a time, a huge fish was swimming around when along came a smaller fish. The big fish was so hungry it swallowed the other fish whole. Gulp. The big fish died and sank to the bottom of the sea. Wonder if that little fish was poisonous. Yeah, he said karma, homie. This happened 90 million years ago. That's like a long time. How do we know? We know because the fish turned to stone. Stone, it's a whole stone. The fish became a fossil. A plant or animal that has turned to stone is called a fossil. Isn't he lovely? Scientists can tell how old stones are. They could tell how old the fish was. So let's read the little captions with the little people, the students. Nobody knows why it died. It's called Zipactinus. That's just my best guess, because I don't speak fossilese. Wow, that's some catch. Punny. The little fossil is bigger than me. That is a big fossil. I didn't realize this was to scale. How did the fish become a fossil? Glad you asked. Most animals and plants do not become fossils when they die. Some rot. Shoot, you ever smelled a stinky fish on the edge of a lake? Mimzie has. P.U. Others dry up, crumble, and blow away. No trace of them is left. This could have happened to the big fish. We would never know it had lived. Instead, the fish became a fossil. This is how it happened. Hold on to your pants, because we're getting into the lesson. When the big fish died, it sank into the mud at the bottom of the sea. Slowly, the soft parts of the fish rotted away. Only its bones were left. The bones of the fish that had eaten were left too. The skeleton of the fish lay buried and protected deep in the mud. So we've got a fish within a fish. Did you notice that? Look, there's the other fish. Thousands of years went by. We're on the right page, yes. More layers of mud covered the fish. Tons and tons of mud piled up. After a long time, the surface of the earth changed. The sea where the fish was buried dried out. So here's the fish. Here's what he got buried. This is over time. We've got layers. And now we have more and more layers, so it's not even an ocean anymore. That could be where you live. That could be under your house. That happens all the time. So we're going to read this side. Okay, we're going to read this side, and here's your pretty fish. The weight of the layers of mud pressed down. Slowly, the mud turned to rock. As that happened, groundwater seeped through the changing layers of mud. Minerals were dissolved in the water. The water seeped into all the tiny holes in the fish bones. The minerals in the water were left behind in the fish bones. After a very long time, the bones turned to stone. The fish was a fossil. Just like Mimzie's fossil right here. Some fossils, like the fish, are actual parts or of plants or animals that have turned to stone. Sometimes a fossil is only an imprint of a plant or animal. I've got some of those too. Millions of years ago, a leaf fell off a fern-like plant. It dropped into the swampy forest soil, which is called peat. The leaf rotted away, but it left the mark of its shape in the peat. The peat, with the imprint of the leaf, hardened. It became a rock called coal. Did you know that coal is a fossil too? It is. It's why it's called a fossil fuel. Ba-dum-bum-pa. Peat is made up of mushy, rotted leaves. We use peat in the garden to make plants grow. You also can find mummies in peat. Be very careful, especially like in Ireland, bog mummies, that's in the peat. Look how perfect the leaf looks. Lots of other things have been found in coal, even dinosaurs. This shell was buried whole, but when scientists split the rock, the shell crumbled away. This is only its imprint. Here's the other half. And this is the actual fossil. This was a shell once upon a time, but I do have some that are just the imprints. So I know exactly what they're talking about. These are dinosaur tracks. We have these in Texas. They were made in fresh mud 115 million years ago. Sand filled the dinosaur footprints in the mud. The sand hardened into rock called sandstone. Millions of years later, fossil hunters dug through the rock. They found the fossil tracks, exact imprints of the dinosaur's foot. It's iguanodon. These footprints tell us a lot about iguanodon. Scientists can tell how big it was and how fast it moved and that it walked on 2 legs. That's a whole lot just from a set of tracks in the mud. Now, not all fossils are found in stone. Some are found in the frozen ground of the Arctic. This ancient mammoth was a kind of elephant. It froze to death thousands of years ago. Bless his heart. I do not like to be cold. The grass it had been eating was still in its mouth. And I know sometimes they can tell what their last meal was because they can examine the stomach, and their last supper was still in their tummies. The famous mammoth found accidentally in 1901 in Siberia. And since this book has been written, we've been finding more and more because stuff's melting up north and we're just getting all kinds of stuff out of the permafrost. Part of it was showing through the melted ice. Scientists found pounds of grass in mass. Mass? It had a whole bunch of grass in his tummy. The mammoth was fresh enough to eat. I wouldn't dare. Same little homie. Not eating mammoth. That's a no. That old. That's a new outlook on aged steak. But that's like eating an elephant. I'm not doing that either. Millions of years ago, a fly was caught in the sticky sap of a tree. The sap hardened and became a fossil called amber. Amber looks like yellow glass. The fly was perfectly preserved in the amber. I have an amber ring at home, and when I was in Poland years ago, there's lots of amber there, and they sell it in the markets, and I always wanted a dragonfly in amber because of a book I read. Other insects have been preserved in amber too. We have learned many things about the fish, the fern, the fly, and the dinosaur tracks. Fossils tell us about the past. My mother has an amber necklace, and your Mimzie has an amber ring. Here's the fly and a spider, ants, a cockroach. I don't want an amber ring with a cockroach. Mine has like a fly in it, probably like a gnat. They all got stuck in the sticky sap. Ooh, it's getting thinner. We're almost done. Fossils tell us there were once forests where now there are deserts. Fossils of these plants and animals were found in that desert. That's the painted desert and the petrified forest. I've been there. I haven't. Petrified means turned to stone. Wow, a fossil forest. Did you know over here, that's Toast. That's his tank. There's a piece of petrified stone in his tank. It's like it used to be a tree and now it's a whole rock. Fossils tell us there were once seas where now there are mountains. These fossils of sea creatures were found on mountains. The earth has changed a lot since then. Yeah, they find fossils of tropical plants and where it's ice and snow now. I did it again. I should have just waited. Many lands that are cold today were once warm. We find fossils of tropical plants in very cold places. Fossils tell us about strange creatures that lived on Earth long ago. No such creatures are alive today. They have all died out. We say they are extinct. So, dinosaur bones, it's a stegosaurus. That's a pterodon, the flying reptile. That's an ichthyosaurus. It was quite the swimmer. And this little girl here said she just loves museums. And I do too. I love museums. Some fossils are found by scientists who dig for them. That's what your Mimzie got to go do. Look, there's the fish it ate too. And they say nothing ever happens in Kansas. Nobody says that. Nobody says that. It's a great find. Some fossils are found by accident. You too might find a fossil if you look hard. When you see a stone, look at it carefully. It may be a fossil of something that once lived. There's a place about an hour where Mimzie is sitting right now called White Cliffs. It's in Arkansas, and you can go all day long and pick fossils. If you can go up to Dallas and Fort Worth area, and in the Dallas area that used to be underwater, and you can get aquatic fossils. There's a Walmart, you can get aquatic fossils all day. But in the Fort Worth area, that was land, and that's where you get the land fossils. I've been there, I know these things. All right, almost done. How would you like to make a fossil? Not a 1 million year old fossil, a 1 minute old fossil. Make a clay imprint of your hand. The imprint shows what your hand is like, the way a dinosaur track shows us what the food was like. Suppose when it dried out, you buried your clay imprint. Suppose a million years from now, someone found it. Your imprint would be hard as stone. It would be a fossil of your hand. It would tell the finder something about you. It would tell something about life on Earth a million years earlier. Hereby I buried this fossil. Some would know all about me, how big I am, how many fingers I have, that I go to school and take dance lessons and play the piano and sing and read books, and no, they wouldn't know all of that. Last page. Every time someone finds a fossil, we learn more about life on Earth long ago. Someday you may find a fossil, one that is millions and millions of years old. You may discover something no one knows today. And that is a wrap. Have a great day. Mimzie loves you.